Joining me now, former acting ICE director, former Department of Homeland Security deputy assistant, and former federal prosecutor, Jonathan Fahey. Good morning, Jonathan. Why not just simply say to fellow Democrats, close the border, stop the human trafficking, stop the drug trafficking, stop the human suffering?
Yeah, that would probably be a much better way to deal with it, and certainly more efficient. Yeah, the Eric Adams thing is pure nonsense. This idea of sending a fact-finding mission to Texas, everyone knows what's going on. We have an open border. There are people suffering. There are people dying. There are drugs coming across. There's human smuggling. They don't need a fact-finding mission. And the irony of it is, his complaint is that these are costing resources to New York City residents and taxpayers, and yet they're going to waste taxpayer resources sending some silly fact-finding mission down there, so it makes it look like he's doing something about it. The answer's in Washington, D.C., if they want to deal with it. And he's part of the problem. He's part of one of these sanctuary city mayors that's encouraged illegal immigration for years and years. They won't even kick out the most serious criminals. So for him to act like, they should be doing something about it now, it's just so unserious. He's got a lot of problems in New York City. He should deal with them in a serious manner and help the citizens rather than just play these little games.
Living here, I concur. James Freeman, jump in.
Oh, thanks. Jonathan, there was a news story in our paper this week about how when people are apprehended at the border, often they're given a court date. And then what's happening is if they actually show up, they find that the government has not done the paperwork, so the case cannot proceed. This doesn't mean they're necessarily free. They're kind of left in a legal limbo. And I'm wondering, as people look at this dysfunction, I can't imagine anyone, whatever they think about immigration policy, favors this approach. Is this incompetence, or do you think this is a policy decision, the Biden administration saying we're not going to basically participate in the court system? I mean, it sounds incredible, but otherwise, I guess it's a sort of historic level of incompetence.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. This is the policy. The policy is a twofold policy from the Biden administration. It's an open border, meaning anyone could come here, and it's de facto amnesty, which is once you're here, you're not getting kicked out other than under the most extreme circumstances. So that's the policy. But they don't just get a court date. Remember, they get a free cell phone, too, when they come across. And the funny thing is, if they come to court, they're not getting kicked out. And if they don't come to court, they're not getting kicked out. And it's just truly amazing that this is going on. And, this is a serious issue. And for the administration to be playing games and consistently lying about what's going on, it's really a disgrace. They're not serving the American public. They're undermining law enforcement in every respect by just letting all of these people flout our asylum laws, other laws. And it's really unbelievable. It's a disgrace, and it's causing so much harm. But they're not going to change. They have shown no willingness. They've even gotten worse on the open borders agenda. Everything they do is to encourage illegal immigration. Anyone that stands up against it, they call them names, they undermine them, they cut their legs out from under them, and they're not going to change.
In 1 week, on that note, after saying no one is walking across the southern border, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre rejecting offers from Republican lawmakers for her to see the border crisis firsthand. Listen to this.
One thing I will say is I certainly don't need lectures or invitations from Republicans about the border or border policies.
Jonathan, your thoughts on that? Well, how about some photos of what's going on, or some statistics about the human suffering that the foundation has been laid by that very administration?
Yeah, it really is amazing, her statement about people not walking across and then not wanting to be lectured. Is her position, is the White House position that she is just so grossly uninformed, or she was just lying in really a ham-handed way? It's really pathetic. But, people know what's going on down there, and for them to continue to deny it, to continue to, engage in this consistent silliness, talking about root causes, talking about all these other things. They need to really, put the American people first occasionally and put their safety first, put the American national security first, but they're not willing to do so. And for her to, her statements, I mean, they're unbelievable in so many ways. And it's just, a train wreck every day up there for her. But, for this one, she should just, be honest. People are walking across the border. They're not doing anything about it.
Jonathan Fahey, thank you so much for being here this morning.